there and welcome to Genesis Models. What we have today is our Canberra B.2 all finished, all done, nothing left to do now. I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown review of like the whole model now it's all together and any problems I had now. When building this, to be honest with you, this went together really nice. It is nice to have a change, to have something really nice, easy and simple, and this was just that, because I mean all this is really is just two fuselage sections and two wing sections times two sticking together, and that is basically it with this build. So there wasn't really any issues. The only kind of issue I really had was we've got our intakes here and our exhaust. They didn't quite fit very well. You did need to do a bit of sanding and dry fitting, and then you need to do filling and sanding and scribing and stuff. But a little tip: if you kind of leave the wings off the fuselage section, you can easily sand and fill and scribe the fuselage section, and fill, sand and scribe your two wing sections separately, rather than having this big bulky model trying to do all your sanding, filling and scribing and all that kind of stuff. It just makes everything easier and less of an issue, less of a problem, and then you just stick it together and basically your model's done. Apart from that, on the build stage, I mean, that was literally it. It really is as nice and easy as that. However, there are some issues with this kit. The first being is your decals. To be honest with you, the decals are an absolute load of rubbish, to be honest. Really bad points about the kit, to be honest, because I would recommend you do not go out and use the decals that come with the kit. You're going to have to spend that extra bit of cash, and you're going to have to go out there and get yourself some aftermarket decals, markings and potentially stencils at the same time. The reason why, the decals are just really thick, really glossy. They don't conform to micro cell and set, solid set. They don't conform to Tamiya X20A thinners. They just do not soften up. They do not wrinkle up. They do not go into the recessed panel lines or anything like that. They just stay as they are, and when it's like that, the problem is one, you can't get the decal to go into the recessed panel lines to make them look more professional, and when you've got bubbling and silvering, you can't get rid of them, because you cut into the decal and you use pins to like pop the bubbles and all this kind of stuff. But if you can't get the decal to soften up, you can't get the silvering and the bubbles to come out of the decal, which can look really nasty. So I had to go to the extreme with these decals to actually use Tamiya extra thin cement, which is a bit of an overkill, to be honest, and it is. I wouldn't recommend trying to use this, to be honest, because it will just completely and utterly melt your decal to nothing and eat its way through the paint, and you could end up with bare plastic at the end of it. So really tricky stuff to use that. But I mean, if you got a bit of experience with it and you're very careful and you apply it kind of very lightly, I mean, you can basically melt the where the silvering is and where the bubbles are, to basically give you a really nice finish. Even then, I mean, I'm still not 100% happy with it, but I mean, it really did solve a lot of the problems with how bad these decals were. I could get it to conform to the panel lines by applying Tamiya extra thin cement as well. So I mean, not 100% happy, but I mean, we kind of got there in the end to a nice kind of level. But I would recommend that you go out and buy some aftermarket decals, which there's loads out there, and I suppose really you've got to get stencil set and marking set as well. So you could be talking about £25 extra on top of the kit to actually get what you should have got with the kit in the first place. The second thing that was a problem with this kit, which you've probably noticed, is it's sitting on its tail here. Now it says in the instructions put 100 grams worth of weight in the fuselage section here. Now I did that and I whacked in a load more, and it isn't just a case of, oh, you know, I'm just slightly under the weight or something. I mean, this is just a big dead weight at the back. I mean, you'd need a hell of a lot more weight in here. I mean, I don't know how much more you're going to need, but 100 grams just isn't cutting it, to be honest. And it kind of annoys me as well, because not only does Airfix say put 100 grams in the front, but they also say put this piece on in the instructions, where you stick it under the back here and it props it up, which, you know, not kind of accusing Airfix of anything, but it kind of makes me think, well, you tell me to put 100 grams in the front, knowing that I'm going to have to put this on the back to prop it up, so what exactly is going on here? I don't know. Maybe it could be the fact that you need so much weight in the front that you could end up having the plastic wheels kind of bend and stuff, so I don't know if actually you probably do need metal wheels or something like that, because you're going to have to put so much weight to get this to not sit on its arse, basically. So that was kind of annoying, but I mean, I suppose at least you have got this little thing they provide with the kit and tell you to put on in the instructions. I don't know how realistic that is, whether it's right or not. But overall, conclusion of the whole overall build, I do like it. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind doing it again, because I wouldn't mind doing it with some different decals, and I wouldn't mind kind of sorting out the weight issue at the front. You know, and yeah, it has been an enjoyable build, but is it worth it? I would say no, it's not worth the money, and it's kind of not recommended in that sense, because, you know, it retails at about £32 at Hanance, which that's fine if the decals were fine, but because the decals aren't fine, you've got to go off and spend about £25 more on top of the £32, so you're talking, you know, you're spending about £55, which, you know, if I was a big fan of the Canberra, then 50 odd pounds wouldn't bother me. But if this was just an aircraft that was on my list of models I want to produce, you know, I would kind of look at £55 and I'd think, no, I'd put you to the bottom on my list and I'll work my way through other models. So it is really a shame how much this is going to cost you out of the box, because you've got to go out and buy the decals, as I say. But other than that, I mean, I am pleased with the results. Just, you know, the decals has really been a really downer on this one. So until next time, which I will be doing the B.2, and you can now see this on the forum, and I'll put final reveal photos up on the forum. So until next time, have a good day and goodbye.